Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm building out a DIY expedition camper, and this has been quite the project, starting out with the bare truck chassis, ordering up composite wall panels, building those up, glued all into a composite camper, building out this interior with a pretty advanced and big electrical system, specialized heating system and plumbing system, and of course even building out my own composite garage doors for my large gear garage, and installing some beautiful Motorcraft Adventure Development windows and entry door, and that's all going on right now. And now it's also time to actually start making a few modifications to the cab, as the camper is starting to get complete, and that's starting with some fiberglass fender flares from Fuso Offroad. All right, today we're going to put some fender flares on this bad boy, and why we're going to do that? Because these 37 by 13.5 inch wide tires protrude out roughly about 2 inches from the exterior of the cab, and so that's going to keep mud and so forth from flinging up and going over the cab and also over the camper. And I'm going to go over one quick thing right now too. The cab is about exactly 80 inches wide, pretty much a standard, same width as a van, like a Ford Transit or Mercedes Sprinter van. Also about the same width as even like a full-size pickup truck, until you put 37s or 41s or any bigger tire on them. And then they almost always go out to about 90 inches wide, or even wider with a 41-inch tire in a full-size pickup truck. So most basically, call it trucks, SUVs, and so forth, come in right about 80 inches wide. But with these wider tires, it's at 82 inches wide. That's why I went ahead and did my camper at 82 inches wide. I got 2 more inches of width on the inside of the camper. That's huge on the width, and you'll see that inside when this thing gets finished out. That extra 2 inches really is material on the width, and so that's big, being able to do that. And that still keeps my overall width on the trail, basically the exterior of my tires here. And so that's good, right? But now I got this mud flinging up on the cab, so I'm going to take care of that. We got to take off this little fender flare that's a factory fender flare that's built onto the door, and also trim the other factory fender flare that comes to the back to here that I've already taken off. And we're going to put on some really cool, meaty, badass fender flares here. And so I'll just give you a quick view of what that's going to look like. Is more or less like that. But I got to bolt these in place, so let's get to it. So while these fender flares built by Fuso Offroad are really beautiful, and Tony there was really a great help and very kind to work with, you know, there isn't really a lot of ways to attach these. There are basically a couple of holes in the step there below the door that these can attach through, but that only connects them down in the very bottom there. And so I really had to attach them also above and somewhere in the middle to make sure they were well supported and strong. And of course, I could have went back to my old adhesive sealant and just put some adhesive sealant in there and glue these on, and they would have been plenty strong and sealed up well. However, I wanted to make sure they were removable just in case they ever got damaged or something like that, so it could easily be removable. So I wanted them bolted. So what I wanted to do is really use those bottom bolts in the step. That was fairly easy, and then I had to kind of install 2 bolts up above or 1 in the middle. I'll go a little bit more here in a moment as to what I did. Well, it's basically time to put up or shut up, and this is a time to do that. And so it means got to drill holes into my brand new cab, my first holes that I'm drilling in, other than cutting a whole big, pretty much the whole rear wall out for the pass-through. Now I actually have to cut some small little holes for bolts to bolt this fender flare on, basically about here and here. And so I'm going to put 2 bolt holes here and here. This will capture the upper back part, the middle section, and then I've got a factory one that I'm just going to drill through the fender flare down here, use this factory bolt hole, extend it into the fender flare, and so that should capture it in 3 good places, and I think that's going to be strong enough. I was hoping that I could have drilled through the top plate here on this, and by drilling through there, then the bolts would have been inside the gasketed portion of it, and they would have been not visible from this side, and it was a more flatter plane. But the fender flare itself has very little material that goes overlaps here. It only folds over just slightly. All the material is really in this flat section here. So I'm going to put this bolt down as low as I can onto this flat section here before it hits the seal, and still get a washer over it. I think on the back side I'm going to actually do not just a nut, but I'm also going to do a sealing washer, so that way no water and things like that can get through into this metal section, and of course into the, call it the interstitial part of the door seal. There's really an exterior part of the door seal. The door seal really seals up in here anyways. It had a secondary seal here because that acted as a fender flare, kept mud obviously from coming up into the door seal. Now I'm replacing them with the big fender flare. I'd still like to put a little bit more of a door seal back onto this, and so I want to make sure that my bolts and stuff have nice rounded heads that are not really causing that seal to not really connect and so forth. So that's why I don't like putting here that secondary seal. The bolts here will interfere a little bit with that, but it seems to be my best option. At least it's exterior of the main seal, and so any thermal transfer during really cold weather and stuff like that won't really be an issue. So that's good. But I got to drill this first hole. So got my hole punch. I've got my drill. It's time to get busy. Go. Okay, that first hole, it's drilled. There she is. Okay, I need to go a little bit bigger. Get that in there. And let's line it up with fender flare. Drill a hole in that. And then let's see if the other one works too. Let's get her done. Yeah, my original plan was to go ahead and basically install the first bolt and then line up the holes for the other two bolts by drilling those holes on the fender flare with the drill press after marking them through those other two holes. And I did try that on the side, and I found that it was difficult to get that alignment just perfect by the little bit of movement on the drill press and or a little bit of movement with my marking while I was up there hanging out the one bolt. So I found on the other, it was just easier on the other side to go ahead and mount it on with one bolt and hole, and then go ahead and just drill through all the way through the fender flare and into the metal, or at least drill through the fender flare, which is easy to drill through, and just make a mark into the metal with the drill bit, and then I could go ahead and finish that hole that way. So just found out it was a little bit easier way to work it, and so that's what I did. And after drilling these holes, I went ahead and, of course, sprayed some touch-up paint in there, so primer with some zinc coating in it to make sure there was no rust or anything. So I took the fender flares back off, sprayed that in there, let that dry, then put those bolts back in there. And again, with those sealing washers, and on the bottom they're very oversized washers. You can see the cutout that comes with those fender flares to accommodate essentially a weld-on nut that holds the bolt into those steps. And so I had to get longer bolts, 8 millimeter diameter, but much longer bolts, about 1.5 inches, to protrude through those weld-on nuts that hold the step on and into the fender flare, with a very large washer on it, about a 1.5 inch washer. All these are black oxide stainless steel, so corrosion resistant, and also black to make sure they kind of just hide in there in the fender flares. I found a much easier way to take care of this final bolt in the back, and that's a glue-on stud. A glue-on stud. I used a 1/4 inch by 1/4 with stainless steel glue-on stud. Used my adhesive sealant, put it on a nice flat spot after I cleaned it, and that made it super easy to go ahead and install that rear section on there, not have to drill into that box, which I did not want to do, because that box at the back of the cab is a structural frame, and it really is completely enclosed. I didn't want any kind of moisture or dirt or anything to get in there and cause any rust or corrosion issues. So that way this thing is totally sealed up and good to go, yet removable should I ever need to. So this is what they look like when all done. I'm really stoked about them. I think they look great. Tell me what you think in the comments section down below, and thank you so much for watching, subscribing, and sharing these videos with others. Lots more to come. My rest of my camper build out.